YouTube, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And as always, a quick thank you for being here today and for continuing to help me grow the channel. And of course, we're all a part of the, you know it, best damn community here on YouTube, without a doubt. Apologies for the length of time between videos. As some of you may know, my wife and I were dealing with the loss of her dad, so you can imagine everything we had to go through to get things squared away. He was an amazing dude, and even more amazing as a father-in-law. And I just want to thank everyone who reached out to us with their thoughts and prayers. It really was appreciated and comforting. So on to the video. A couple weeks ago, I had a guy email me to comment on the display shelf I had in a video with some limited edition and collectible silver and gold. Now, he basically said, in a nutshell, that none of the stuff on display that you have would be good in an SHTF. Thanks for that. But you know what? He was 100% correct, and I told him that. I also informed him that I'd hit my silver weight goal last year, and that I was now mixing my stacking with weight accumulation and some collectibles, and focusing a little more on Morgans and Mercury dimes this year in 2024. But he wasn't used to that type of response, and he'd been used to following a couple of the silver pumper channels, which he referenced in our back and forth conversation. Now, I ended the email trail with some simple advice. Don't believe everything you see and hear on YouTube, folks.
Thank you for playing. Should we or should we not follow the advice of the galactically stupid?
And that's the soundest advice I can give. You have to stack what you want and whatever fits in your goals and plans, right? If you want that cool collector piece and you've worked your butt off on your stack, then hey, buy yourself a treat. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You can still stack silver weight and have some fun with silver and gold pieces you like, right? But a word of caution. You just can't expect to recover premiums on the high dollar stuff. I mean, there's actually a good chance you might lose money on collectibles rather than make a profit. Unless silver skyrockets or gold skyrockets over what you have into it, then it doesn't matter. But I digress. In today's video, we're going to talk about examples of buying the worst and best values for both gold and silver, and why it makes sense to put in the extra time before buying. And all that said, you know it. Let's freaking roll it. Alright, so let's start off with gold. For this video, I picked the higher premium pre-33 gold to compare because it typically gains more value than your average gold bullion. And there's a numismatic premium attached to these, and you'll have to expect that if you get into them. And if you already collect them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These are pricey, folks. A few examples. This 1894 Double Eagle, 0.9675 gold weight, so just under an ounce. And the average price of those right now is about $2,700 to $2,900. Depending on factors like it's loose, graded, yada yada. Alternatives, buffaloes, which are 1 full troy ounce of 4/9 pure gold, and they sell for about $2,600 to $2,700 on average. Gold eagles, 1 full troy ounce of gold, at a little less purity, it's 0.9167 as everybody knows, and those sell for $2,700 to $2,800 on average, so a little higher, and sometimes a lot higher. And then of course you have generic gold bars, most of which are in 4/9 fine. And those average between $2,600 and up, right around there. And don't forget some of the government-backed gold bullion selling for just a bit over spot, like Krugs, Phils, Britannias. But again, there's a huge difference between numismatic gold and bullion gold. You got to keep that in mind. Next up, we've got a 1926 Indian Head Eagle, and has 0.484 actual gold weight, so just under a ½ ounce. Average price on those $1,800 to $2,000. Alternatives, yep, ½ ounce gold eagle and the gold maples carry a better price, averaging around $1,600 each. The eagle might be a little bit more than the maple. But also, ½ ounce generics are averaging around $1,350 a piece, so huge difference between generic and pre-33. Lastly, you also have Britannias coming in at around $1,550 per coin. So not bad, even though gold is skyrocketing, it's not bad pricing. Next, got a 1909 Half Eagle, and this has 0.24 gold weight, so right about just under a ¼ ounce of gold. Average price is about $845 right now. Alternatives, yep, Britannias, $675. Even some ¼ ounce Eagles in the low 800s. But the better bargain, right here. I love these. I've just gotten into them, and I plan on staying on them. British Sovereigns. These are awesome. Okay. This is the one sovereign, and it contains 0.2354 ounces of gold. So just a shade under that 0.24. of the half eagle, and it literally costs 200 less than the eagle. Okay, literally 200 less. Now I've got another Sauve right here, 1968. I bought both of these at right around 600 a piece. So great value, good bargain, numismatic gold. And if you're worried about the liquidity on those, don't. These sell extremely well, and they're a fantastic way to add numismatic gold and weight to your stack all at once. And the designs on them, incredible. A lot of foreign Sauve gold, amazing designs, beautiful. You guys, if you're familiar with the roosters, you know what I'm talking about. These are a lot of fun, folks. And lastly, right here, got a 1926 quarter eagle with, I believe, 0.1209 gold weight, or right around 3 3/4 grams, just under 4. In decent shape and not on a slab, these are easily going to run you around 500 and up, depending on the condition. Alternatives, hey, gold by the gram. You can get a pretty good deal on some of these. Scottsdale puts them out. Pretty good deal on those. I mean, you can get PAMP, SMI, Perth Mint, 5 gram bars for around 425 and up right now. So cheaper. That's 75 bucks cheaper than the quarter eagle. Now, you're going to get more gold on those bars at almost 75 bucks when you buy into them. Again, though, yeah, use caution. Anything generic is going to be closely linked to spot price. So please remember that. When you go to sell, generic's going to go, I mean, don't expect too much over spot, if any. Keep that in mind. And in the meantime, the numismatic stuff, well, that's going to continue to go up in value. So you really have to take all that into consideration and weigh out the balances when it comes to buying gold. All right, really quickly, we're going to talk about silver. This is the easy one, folks. Silver is a no-brainer. It's the easiest to deal with. If you're stacking weight, you'll want to avoid the collectible stuff because the premiums on them can be huge. You know that. And if you decide to sell that limited stuff, there's a decent chance that others won't value it in the way that you do. Remember that. And you can include dealers in that department. Hell, it's their job to buy low and sell high, right? That's what keeps the lights on and the rent check paid. The main catch with silver is a simple one. The higher the weight, the less you'll pay in premiums unless they're vintage or collectible. Another thing to keep in mind is if the economy tanks and you're trying to trade off your high dollar silver, well, and I say this all the time for you regulars, you know I do, that pricey ounce of collectible silver became what? Yeah, a regular ounce of silver with no regard to premium. It's gone. See you later, das vidanya. Now, moving on. I like 10-ounce bars, obviously. You guys have seen. I've got a bunch. They make up most of my weight, I think, if I go back and look. Because they offer a far better value than 1-ounce bars. Once you do the math, they're a better deal. If you're going to stack smartly, one option you can take is saving up for that 10-ounce bar instead of buying the 1-ounce bar. Just something to think about, right? Now, on that note, 10s are as high as I go these days. They're a great size to stack weight, but you also want to keep liquidity in mind. Smaller bars are far easier to get rid of, but good luck. You're going to take a bath on them, just about any silver bar for the most part. So you have to kind of hope silver goes way up what you sold them, what you bought them for, because you're not going to get a whole lot back on bars unless they're collectible or vintage. So I'd recommend as a mix for silver, 1-ounce bars, 10-ounce bars when you can get them, and a mix of generic and government-backed 1-ounce silver rounds and coins, eagles, maples, Brits, yada yada. I used to have kilos and a 100-ounce bar, but I traded those off a long time ago. You got to keep your stack diverse, folks, so you're prepared for anything. But always think about what you're adding and how feasible it'll be to offload it when you need to. Very important.
$1 million.
And one final note on silver. If you're stacking silver in hopes of using it as barter when the zombie apocalypse arrives, don't be shocked if people aren't willing to trade their insanely valuable food, water, ammo, meds, and whatnot for your silver. I'm of the firm opinion, and again, this is just my line of thinking, you might see it differently, that metals are not going to be immediately useful during the early stages of an SHTF. I talk about this all the time. It's going to take time for society to accept metals, and I don't think they'll help you right off the bat. Now remember, stackers are an insanely tiny part of humanity out there. Somewhere less than 3% of the world population, if I recall. Maybe even less than that. So here in the U.S., many won't know that a Merc dime has 0.072 ounces of silver. They definitely won't believe that a pre-65 Rosie has silver in it because that design's still in circulation. And they won't even know what to make of your fancy little prepper pack gram silver that you got sucked into buying from SD Bullion and a couple of large channels. No mention of names, of course, who pushed them out. But bottom line, it won't take too long for society to possibly accept metals, but I don't think it'll be immediate either. I think metals will be more valuable during the recovery stage, where you'll be able to accumulate tangible assets like land, supplies, etc. But hey, who knows, right? We'll know when we get there, if we get there. Alright, so we're getting ready to close out this video, but before I do, let's do a quick recap on what I'm trying to say here. Number one, first and foremost, don't worry about how others view your stack. You have a plan, it's your money, and you've earned every stinking last ounce of silver and gold that you've stacked. Be proud of that. You're being proactive by stacking metals and diversifying your portfolio. A lot of people aren't doing that, and there's going to come a point in time where it pays off for you. Just trust in the process. Number two, don't stack solely based on bartering or feel pressured to, because it's highly likely, and I'm just using YouTube analytics for the numbers and the ages of the folks that are watching these videos. It's highly likely that most of us watching right now won't see the day where we have to use our metals for bartering. Again, just my opinion based on what I've seen in the age group that I see watching these vids. Now, it's okay to prep. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely prep. Most of us are doing it. But don't stack solely based on prepping. Have some fun. Okay? Have a little bit of fun along the way. And number three, always look for value. Do the research. All right. There you have it, folks. So don't feel pressured by society in any way when they say or imply you're stacking incorrectly. Can mistakes be made? Yeah, absolutely. Of course. I've made several along the way. But I definitely learned from them. We don't want to repeat history. But it's important to stack in a way that you're comfortable doing and keep it that way. One thing you should always do is, and you know what it is, your due diligence. The economy is too flaky right now for us to be making stacking mistakes. Be smart, have some fun. Anyway, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. You guys know I love going through them, so make sure you sound off. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. If you made it this far, well, kudos to you. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime, if you don't know by now,
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to stack. Damn right. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. I am out of here. Peace, folks.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Oh, yes. And what was that beginning, middle, and end part again?